from the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike Gallagher.
It was quite a day. Going to be another day. That rabid judge in New York says Trump cannot deliver a closing argument in the $370 million fraud trial he's facing. Look, they're going to throw the book at him. They're going to probably prevent him from doing business in New York ever again. And he may not need to, because he very well might be the 47th president of the United States. That is how that works, right? He's 45, and then he'd be number 47. Welcome in. It's Thursday. Wow. Big night last night on the boob tube. Over on Fox News, you had President Trump in a town hall. Over on CNN, you had Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley squaring off in a one-on-one debate. Chris Christie threw in the towel. As you just heard, Hunter Biden was asked, what kind of crack do you like to smoke, when he crashed the congressional hearing yesterday. I mean, it's been wild. What a wild 24 hours. I'm going to share with you two quick analyses on X or by text. Here's my analysis. And incidentally, I want to flood the phone lines with your reactions to all of it. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. I posted on X, I got to say, the contrast between two people sniping and attacking and bitching on CNN and one person calmly and credibly and confidently talking policy on Fox News is, well, stunning. Night and day. And it was night and day. It was so wild to go back and forth between DeSantis and Haley calling each other liars all night, and that's essentially all it was. They just sniped at each other, attacked each other. Nikki Haley kept promoting some website, DeSantisLies.com. DeSantis came right out of the gate swinging. I mean, he went after her, went right for the jugular. It was just a food fight, which, of course, totally vindicates Trump's strategy of not participating in the debates. He's over on Fox News with Brett Baier and Martha McCallum fielding challenging questions from the audience. It wasn't a cakewalk for Trump. It wasn't like a Sean Hannity sit-down powwow between two old friends. Listen to this. Listen to this DeSantis. She admitted she's going to caucus for Ron DeSantis, but she asked a question of President Trump last night at the town hall. Listen carefully to Trump's answer.
Let's hear from Jane Jack, who is a teacher from Rhodes, Iowa. Jane, thank you so much for being here. And you said that you plan to caucus for DeSantis, but you're not completely decided. Is that right?
No, I am firmly, I will be caucusing for DeSantis. But I will say, Mr. President, I am extremely grateful that in your first term, you accomplished so many great things, but it was also with the help of many great people. Since that time, you have publicly criticized and personally demeaned so many of them. If you're given 4 more years, how will you convince good people to take the risk of working with you?
So I have a lot of people that want to work with me. I have people calling just as I'm getting on the stage. I had a call from 2 of the very most important people in the military who want to come to work for me. Everybody wants to come to work for us. We're going to have no trouble. We had great people. We had a couple that were not great, stiffs, as I would call them. But that's true with anybody. But now I've gotten to know Washington. I've gotten to know the people. I know the best. I know the smart ones, the dumb ones, the weak ones, the strong ones. And I think you're going to see something like you've never seen before. And the people in this room know it. We did an amazing job. And the reason, we have support is because of the job we did. Now, you like Ron DeSantis, but he wouldn't even be around today. He'd be working in a pizza shop or perhaps a law firm if I didn't endorse him. I endorsed him, took him from nothing to winning an election. And I was all for him. And then one day he said he'd run against me 4 years later after I got him in. And I said, that's not a loyal person. We can't have that. That's not a loyal person. So I think you'll be very impressed with what we're going to do. We're going to have the greatest economy in the world, which we don't right now. We have horrible, horrible inflation. And, you're never going to get that 30% down. You might even it, but you're not going to get it down. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now, oh, wow, what an ogre. What a crazed madman he is, huh? Gracious, normal, appreciative. Okay, he knows he's not her cup of tea, but he explains that the reason I supposedly demean people is I've had people who worked for me who've stabbed me in the back. And I was loyal to them by inviting them to be in the administration, and then they go running off and do their book deals, and they attack. And what do you think Trump's going to do, roll over? It was a great answer. Let me break it to you. He was fantastic last night. And if all of America was watching, he'd win in a landslide. I don't know how many people watched. It's a small percentage of voters, but he knocked it out of the park. He was calm. He was relaxed. He was, and I swear he's losing weight. The guy is losing weight. He may not intentionally be losing. I don't know. He looks great. This guy's 77 years old. And he was sharp, and he was focused. And meanwhile, over on CNN, it was like an episode of Mean Girls. They're just yelling at each other, attacking each other. You're a liar. No, you're a liar. Here's a little bit of it. Here's DeSantis. Here's Nikki Haley, because she was particularly irritable last night. And I don't really blame her. DeSantis came out swinging. Right out of the gate, he goes right at her. He must have decided, I got to try to attack her because she's gaining ground. So instead of taking the high road, they were both taking the low road. Both of them stayed pretty close to the gutter all night long.
But think about the fact that he's talking about where's this money going to come from. The best way to tell about a candidate is to see how they've run their campaign. He has blown through $150 million. I don't even know how you do that. Through his campaign, he has nothing to show for it. He spent more money on private planes than he has on commercials trying to get Iowans to vote for him. If you can't manage a campaign, how are you going to manage a country?
And it was on and on. DeSantis, do we have the montage yet? 16 times somebody counted. She kept promoting some stupid website. DeSantis is a liar.com or what, DeSantis lies. Here's a text I got that summed it all up. And I want to turn it over to you and see if you had the same reaction at all or if you have the same reaction today. I have a friend who has been very agnostic about Trump or DeSantis or even Nikki Haley. Kind of like me, whoever the voters decide, we're going to go with. But this particular friend of mine, I'll identify him, Mark Davis, is suspected to be an anybody but Trump guy. That's what Tracy thinks. Tracy loves him. We all love him. But Tracy thinks that Mark is kind of an anybody but Trump guy. And here's what Mark texted me last night, and this is big. Mark is a decades-long talk show host, dear friend of mine. He and I bond every day. We have the M&M experience, but we text each other in our personal time as well because we're friends, and we're watching last night. Here's what Mark texted me, and I quote, "I'm having a real moment here. I had held Ron DeSantis as a genuinely valid alternative for conservatives. Not so much anymore. He has a future, but we are done here." Mark's done. Mark's kind of where many of us have been. Trump's the only guy who can fix this. Trump's the only guy who can turn this around. Trump delivers everything that DeSantis can deliver, but it will include a giant middle finger to the bullying elites who think they can push us around and tell us who we're supposed to vote for. A victory for Trump will be 1,000 times sweeter than how we felt in the early morning hours of November of 2016. We'll have that back again by 1,000 times. So let's get your take on all of it. 800-655-Mike, 17 past the hour in the Relief Factor studios for a Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Joey Hudson's packing his bags from Team Gallagher. He's going to be in Iowa covering the caucus where the voters are finally going to get to let their voice be heard. But you know where I want your voice to be heard is right here on this show. And I want you to flood my phone lines with your reaction to the contrast of two people in a cafeteria food fight last night, calling each other names and sniping at each other all night long, and the other guy on Fox News explaining policy calmly, rationally, coolly, and just magnificently. Trump was fantastic. Is there really any choice left? Is there really a choice?